Hey, Max here, and I got a hot topic to talk to you Star Wars fans about in this episode. But first, I want to give a disclaimer. Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a mad Max. And I'm really mad at this one because, boy, do I miss the time when we didn't have to hear from Kathleen. And don't just think, oh, her words coming from her own mouth is hearing from her. The Disney marketing magic is in full effect. Damage control is in full effect for Solo. But let's get on to it. And I want to say, thanks, Kathleen. Now, two movies that you absolutely ruined three of the most original and best characters in Star Wars. Jake Skywalker, Leia Poppins, and Han Nolo. Thanks, Kathleen. In two movies, great job. And the damage control is in full force. It's laughable that one of your own Star Wars actors creates a meme for himself. Mark Hamill with Jake Skywalker, he created that one. That's how bad it is. Leia Poppins, y'all, took everyone out of the movie, and now we got Han Nolo. Or Jake Solo. I kind of like Han Nolo because he's not my Han Solo. Every one of these disasters you were responsible for, and now numerous articles are popping up and coming out of anywhere from your network of entertainment, news, and media friends, because these people have been working together for years. It's a big network of people in the community cliques. So just keep that in mind. Keep in mind where this is coming from and the reasons that they would want to. Maybe it's not even intentional. I think it is in some cases. But there's just such a long relationship with Kathleen Kennedy in entertainment news and media that they're all trying to defend her. And it's sad. And they're trying to trick people into seeing Han Solo. Numerous articles are coming out. And it's really just to try to save her own hide, and it's not right. Trying to trick people just like you tricked people for The Last Jedi. And I really think it was in full force before The Last Jedi. That was the overhyped movie. They never have said, with all these movies coming out, they've never said that it's the best since Empire Strikes Back. How many people said that right before the debut of The Last Jedi? What baloney. Let's really examine what's going on. Okay, I'm going to go over some of the articles that started to pop up. The Solo film production was such a Star Wars love fest. Harrison Ford was a covert advisor to Solo. That's one of the articles. And George really helped out on Solo. You could even say he came out of retirement to direct a scene. You could say that, and that's what they would like you to believe, because it was so minimal. And wow, they at least let him on the set. That is newsworthy, Kathleen, because you shut him out and you shut him down. You know it's true. When George Lucas made those classic interviews about Disney saying how they were going to treat the Star Wars, that's when he got shut out. Read a little bit in between the lines. He was really upset in those interviews. And that's when he really found out that they are not going to have him as an advisor. So it is newsworthy that you let him on set. But don't act like you got his stamp of approval. Everything here is fine. Everything is fine here. We're all fine here. Thank you. Just like in the new trailer coming out. What horrible delivery of that line. It's not fine. They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. What's really going on. We know how bad this production was. Again, I kind of miss when the Solo Trail had not debuted because we don't get all this marketing magic and damage control from Disney. Of course, orchestrated by Kathleen and her story group. Their stories they're actually making in the entertainment press. Think about where they're coming from. Come on, Harrison wants nothing to do with Star Wars. And you know what? He was the smartest person involved with Star Wars. Get me as far away as possible. He probably saw the writing on the wall. I didn't think it would get this bad this soon. I know a lot of you viewers are like that. And listen to his own words with an article 2 years ago. Cinema Blend article 2 years ago. And this is the name of the article. Now, Cinema Blend, we're also going to cover a new article they just put out, really doing damage control for Disney. But this is on their own site 2 years ago. And the title of the article, What Harrison Ford Really Thinks of the Han Solo Spinoff. In a recent interview, now this is 2 years ago, Ford provided a characteristically blunt statement about his involvement with the untitled Han Solo Star Wars anthology film. I'm sure whoever is responsible for that film, and I'm not, will think through the issues and problems of doing such a thing. I think now that we have perspective, they obviously didn't, but his concerns is very telling even back then. You would think they would go through the issues and problems of doing such a thing, but they didn't, and they did it anyway for money. Let's make them responsible for those questions you might think to ask me about the Han Solo movie, because I'm not involved, and he's still not. Don't believe the articles coming out the last few days. When asked if he'd be giving the new Solo any advice, Ford said frankly, no, I'm not going to do that, which I really appreciate genuine responses. Now let's examine the recent news from Entertainment Weekly. Harrison Ford's advice to Alden Ehrenreich, the man who would be Han, when they sat down for a lunch in January of last year, shortly before production began on Solo: A Star Wars Story. Tell them I told you everything you basically needed to know, and that you can't tell anyone. Wow, that basically amounts to Harrison told Alden nothing and said to him, tell everyone else I told you everything you needed to know. That's laughable. He didn't tell them anything. He's like, okay, it's all a big press event. It's for marketing that this lunch happened. Nothing. He didn't coach him. No one. I mean, he got a lot of coaching from an acting coach, but it still didn't help. Then Lucasfilm president and Solo producer Kathleen Kennedy, who has known Ford since Raiders of the Lost Ark days, said she called the actor after his lunch with Ehrenreich. And I have a little bit of a meme, like a little slideshow after this, after we get through these articles, but it's very funny. It was perfect. Classic Harrison, Kennedy says, breaking into his signature low-key grumble. Good kid, really good kid. Oh, wow, that tells you a lot. Okay, that sounds great, but maybe I have to wait and see what George thinks. Oh, wait, you say George is directing again, Kathy? And that's another article that's coming out about George helping on the Solo set. You could say we brought George out of retirement for a pivotal scene on the Millennium Falcon. This whole production is embarrassing. Try and spin news like you got the stamp of approval from Harrison and George. What is with these lunches Hollywood has been doing for years when they do reboots, sequels, stuff nobody asked for? They've been doing this all the time. It's just big marketing. It's okay, we're destroying characters' legacy and milking them dry, but the passing of the torch to a new actor happened at lunch. Everything is fine. Really received words of wisdom during the appetizer. He should have been at acting class instead of at lunch, honestly. And here I'll show you the little slide I put together. This is immediately what came to my mind when I kept thinking of, oh, Kathleen Kennedy called Harrison right after the lunch. Good kid, really good kid. We're all fine here, thank you. How are you? And then, George, we're going to have company. Kathy messed up again. In my head, this is how the conversation went. He doesn't want to have, he's just getting through as little as he can to steer as far away of this. And he wants his Indiana Jones movie. That's the only reason he even took the call from Kathleen, because she has control of Indiana Jones too. This is just a little bit of fun, but what do you guys think of this recent news? It's major damage control, spinning, and boy, let's go back to the beginning image here. Look what a few years has done to these classic characters. It's really sad. I'm still gonna boycott the Solo. I'm not gonna go see it definitely not first 2 weekends. I want to send a strong message. It's the most important time in blockbuster movie film history, and Disney is ruining the movie experience going to blockbuster movies. And this is where I say, you don't have to follow me anywhere. All I want is for you to join in the conversation and talk about a hot topic with some great movie fans. I'll try to respond, and I want you all to have a great day.